that's fine. Overall, I mean, the communities can regulate themselves the way that they want. I just think that it's stupid what they're doing. That's about it. Also, like, this is one of the really confusing things to me, is that I don't understand how I don't understand how people can glaze apps like Zhongshu or like that Red Note app when anything bad that Elon Musk has done is nothing compared to things that are bad that the Chinese government's done. It's not even in the same universe. But people are glazing this entire government, and they're saying this app is good because it's for China. Whataboutism? It's not about whataboutism. And I think whataboutism is usually just people claim whataboutism when they're being called out for obvious hypocrisies. Why is this bad thing okay, but this other bad thing isn't okay? Yes, I know it must be very inconvenient for some people to have to maintain consistency, but the reality is that, yes, it is true. And if you want me to respect a viewpoint that you have when you're only exercising it circumstantially, then I really won't. Yeah, it's double thing. Exactly. Both are bad. Yeah, exactly. It's the hypocrisy. Banning tax links is crazy. And there's no goal that billionaires have that the rest of us share. Well, I'm not, I mean, then ban all content from all billionaires, right? That's it. This is different from a genuine complaining and betting. It's outrage groupthink for the sake of generating a more outrage groupthink. Yeah, I know. I know that I've gotten a lot of hate for speaking out against this and saying that it's stupid. Just keep it in mind that really doesn't fucking matter to me. People can cry about it as much as they want. It's still going to happen. But yeah, there's been a lot of really, really angry pussy boys crying about it. All there is. So yeah. And let's see here. I'm stupid though. Yeah. And when I was a kid, if an adult told me I wasn't allowed to do something, I did it themselves. I get so crafty, I find ways to do it myself. Well, I don't know. I'm just saying in general, right? People are being sarcastic about the Zhongshu shit, dude. It's not the same thing as hating Elon Musk for being a Nazi. Why are you so fake? You think people are being sarcastic? I don't think that they are. I mean, I'm sure that some of them are. I'm sure that you're right in some cases. But I don't really think that that's the majority. I think a lot of them actually did feel that way, and they were feeling that way for sure. So yeah, Jake's usually based, but the past 2 weeks he took some L's. I think that a lot of people are, both aren't okay. Well, the thing is that if both aren't okay, so this is the way that I look at things, and this is the way that I judge whether somebody has an opinion that's worth paying attention to or not. If you're okay with one manifestation of bad behavior, but not okay with another manifestation of bad behavior, and you can't provide me with a reasonable distinction for why these two things are different, then I'm not going to accept the thing that you condemn. Because, to me, you haven't provided good enough evidence that it's actually objective. And so, anytime that somebody has a double standard, I don't get offended by this. I just don't take it very seriously. And I think that you see a lot of double standards that happen. And when I see a double standard, it immediately makes me disbelieve and not care about what that person said. They're being emotional. Yeah, and I think that that's what's happening too. I wish I could say I would totally agree with Elon because I back Doge. I respect your takes on what's happening to this event. Nothing world ending though? No, definitely, right? And so that's the way I see it. They're not okay with it. It's just harder to do shit about China than it is about someone in your country. Otherwise, literally most morals would be meaningless. It's not, what do you mean it's harder to do something about it? Like it's hard to not use an app? I mean, come on, if you can't, are you really going to tell me that you can't regulate your own entertainment? You can't self-regulate your own entertainment to follow your morals, but you want to tell other people that they have to? So where's the logic here? So you want to indulge in something that by any stretch of moral questioning is obviously wrong, but you at the same time want to tell other people what they can and can't do. Well, I think this is a problem. Because if you can't even follow your own advice, why should anybody else? What are we talking about? So if you about Trump rescinding the Equal Employment Act, 65, I think any reason, if you hire somebody for any reason other than merit, you're committing discrimination. It's literally that simple. I could see some examples that are extreme. Have a disability in some cases, or people that could be veterans working in something where being a veteran would give them a unique advantage. And maybe a couple of other instances where it could make sense. Like, for example, like casting in a movie, if you're casting a female character, you'd need a female actor. Other than that, I don't think that it makes sense in most cases. So yeah, it's that simple. The Nepo babies count? They're a separate problem, but like everybody agrees that those are bad too, right? Pretty much. Big enjoyer of what's going on? You're a big enjoyer of the meek will inherit the earth. How can you believe this and be anti-regulation? I'm not anti-regulation. I'm not pro or anti-regulation, and nobody should be. Nobody should be pro-regulation, and nobody should be anti-regulation. People should look at which regulations happen and decide based off of that. Every single thing that you use in your day-to-day life is a product of probably dozens of regulations. So to say that you don't like regulation is like a fish saying that they don't like water. So to say that is just silly. You should look at which the cases are and then decide based off of that. That's how I see it, at least, right? New crazy take, saying you want no regulations insane? Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. I usually draw dragons, but behold, my drawing of Asmon as the Roach Lord King. I wanted to draw him as a badass end boss. Thank you, Zach. I discovered you in 2022. Love your content. Cool guy. Oh my fucking god. Man. It's beautiful. It's disgusting. It's horrible. I love it. Thank you. This is great. Roach Lord indeed. Yeah, I guess so, guys. This is the way that people see me. Yep, there we go. I'm like a Dark Souls boss. You're not living telling until you have one of these. Yeah, this is like something that like my dad would get in a chain email from his friends that are all on Social Security. Good one. Let's see here. New medication.
Hey, babe. Yeah. Is your sister still gay, or is she bi, or is she straight, or what?
Dude, what are you talking about?
Well, I don't know. I've seen her with girls and I've seen her with guys, so I don't know.
She just broke up with her girlfriend. That should give you your peace.
Yeah, she's still kind of sad about that, huh?
Well, yeah, she's devastated. Why?
Well, because the FDA just approved new medication for lesbians with depression.
Don't. Just don't.
It's called Tritoxagen.
Jesus. Fucking boomers? Yeah. For a second, I didn't get it. Oh my fucking god, he's dead? Yeah, it's pretty good. It was. That was... Yeah, it actually got me for a second. Tritoxagen? Yeah. Holy fuck. Mortal Kombat cameos are getting wild. If only they did that. That would be fucking hilarious. We did see this one yesterday. Hang in there. Listen. Oh god. Oh god. Activating Evelyn's ultimate removes her jacket, giving you a clear view of her physics. This is so ridiculous. That's too much. I just think it's the amount of like gooning is now popular. Yes, it is. And also for Zenless Zone Zero official, let's just look at the subreddit. Let's see how many of the posts are gooner posts. 1, 2, 3, probably 4.
Tu visado.
Just Royce or type 5.
¿A dónde? Bueno, ahí bajo, ahí bajo.
6.
Bueno, yo me bajo. Hoy estoy en modo autista.
What is this?
Ahí bajo, ahí bajo.
Where do these people come from? They're going crazy. So yeah, I mean, this is what that's what the game is. People get mad about that, but that's just the way it is, man. Look at the Nikkei subreddit. No, I get fucking banned. Yeah, I'll get fucking banned if I do that. Oh my god. Check the unofficial... No, I'm not checking the unofficial subreddit. Absolutely not. Yes, no way. Yeah, not bad, just kind of weird at this point. I mean, I just wish the game was good, you know? Like, a lot of people said that it was really good, the 1.4 patch or whatever. But, one time I downloaded Zenless Zone Zero, and when the download finished, I went to sleep. That was about it. It's 1.5 now. Oh, really? Yeah, I had no idea. But, yeah, I just never really got that invested in it one way or another. And, yeah, when you started the game, I tried. I really did. The Earth is 70% water and uncarbonated, okay? So technically it's flat.
¡Papá! ¿Y tienes el calzón?
Well, fuck.
Dale, ¿dónde dormiste, boludo?
Yeah, right. Damn.
Dale.
I had to do it. Had to do it.
¿Cuántas estrellas?
No sé, pero es viejo, o sea, un hotel del año igual te puedo joder.
Claro.
Así enorme el hotel, ¿eh? No te pienses que un hotelito ahí de mi papá.
Claro. Wow.
Everybody thinks this is
Qué
funny.
piola, boludo.
Mr. Beast says this at his inauguration 12 years from now.
Qué bueno poder hacer esas cosas, boludo.
Everybody, y'all think this shit's real.
Everybody, oh!
Oh, look at
Put your
that.
hands on your
Yeah, Mr.
knees.
Beast, yeah. And we'll see what happens. I wouldn't even be mad, yeah.
Roving village.
¿Quién era la mina, boludo?
Beast, I assume.
¿Era una mina que sacaste de la aplicación?
Move swiftly.
Hands on your knees. Hands on your knees. Nice shake that.
Now, it doesn't justify that behavior, and it's still bad to do, but you have to look at why this is happening. You can't go and say, I don't know why this is happening.
Probably should
It's obvious why this is happening. It's obvious. And I'm not one of these, blaming the girls for it, or, you
Skeletal
shouldn't wear
clerics
that. I'm
don't
not this kind of a
attack,
guy.
but instead
I think
heal
girls
your
should be able to wear and do whatever they want. But let's not be intellectually dishonest too. There's a reason why you create the character to look this way, and why you do this. Now, these people are over the line. They're creepy and weird, 100%.
feast on flesh.
I guess.
They do
Because of
this with
that,
every female
us
streamer.
guys would go by, see clips like this, and look at these titles and be like, what the hell, and click on them. Because they're clickbaity titles, right? You can agree with that.
Yeah.
Just judging by this, you can already tell it's not like any normal clip you would see of a fan that actually likes me and my content. I need a boyfriend.
I don't see that as being true. I think that there's plenty of people that like female streamers and they just like to goon to them. It's that simple. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that either, as long as the female streamer is okay with it. There's nothing wrong with that.
Benefiber nutre suavemente las bacterias buenas en tu intestino para apoyar tu salud intestinal. Cultiva lo bueno.
Upgrade to a higher level. Always go for your sniper, because it reduces the spirit cost and you can get more of them consecutively out. Our skeletal warriors make him serve unearth. At this point, I'm not useless with a sniper. Now, I always ignore my minions' damage. It's quite nice to just pump those explosions up. In all honesty, I have it for the skeletal clerics. Your skeletal warriors will stop dying. At the current moment, level 50, I picked up the skeletal. In all honesty, I have it for bossing every now and then, but most of the time that skill is just simply not being used. Recently, around level 50, I picked up the skeletal clerics. They will now heal and revive your dudes, and as soon as you have the skeletal clerics, your skeletal warriors will stop dying. At the current moment, they'll essentially burn down, do a lot of damage, respawn. Burn down, do a lot of damage, respawn. It's worth it, don't worry, especially if you decrease their revive time and just have them pop out faster again. And for our survivability, we have Grim Feast. This one can be picked up very early over Raging Spirits, tremendously especially gets you tons of damage. Together with the Max Life, 2 axes to just armor with the gas from the archers. I use this skill effect to rake down harder. Now to the path of build. As I said, this is general forgotten. And why don't we take this? Truly allows me to, in tempo being the most important here. End of the day, I added tons of depth and face. And now back to energy shield instantly back. One can be picked up with it. Don't worry, especially if you decrease. At the current moment, they'll essentially skeletal clerics. They will now heal and revive your dudes. And as soon as you have the skeletal clerics, the time that skill's simply not being used. Recently, around level 50, I picked up the skeletal clerics. They will now heal and revive your dudes. And as soon as you have the skeletal clerics, your skeletal warriors will stop dying. At the current moment, they'll essentially burn down, do a lot of the skeletal clerics, your skeletal warriors will stop dying. At the current moment, level 50, I picked up the skeletal clerics.
or the thumbnail. The content doesn't match because it's obviously misleading and it's pissing people off. Posting clickbait is how you get your kneecaps destroyed. These are the comments under the video called Numi is trying to fuck Buff so hard. And of course, that's not at all what I'm talking about in the video. And then you look at the comments, and which part of these whole 4-minute clips is Numi trying to fuck Buff Pup? This is such a clickbait. This is so clickbait. How are your subtitles so inaccurate? Maybe learn some English. Maybe she's using speech recognition software.
Well, hey, look at this. Let's look at the suggestions. Numi finds out about Sender's new alerts. How Numi's first kiss led to one L after another. Iron Mouse about dating struggles. Numi will never find a boyfriend. Only a female could do this. And then, oh, here we go. Saruki will milk you dry. And then, in case that's not enough and you've still got some left over, you've got Lola Bunny for roughly 4.5 minutes.
Generate the caption. It's AI generated crap. So this brings something else to the table.
Yeah, she's right.
Here.
She's smart.
All of these videos have the same kind of format. A very, very misleading title.
Yeah.
A very, very misleading thumbnail with the top having the same exact layout of text.
Yeah.
Something extremely erotic. NSFW.
I do think that Lola Bunny should have never. They should have made, like, if that could.
Just something that you wouldn't or shouldn't be looking at on YouTube. I like hard sex. I want to screw. I want sex. I love balls.
This sounds like the next clip.
you guys are free to clip that if you want.
Yeah, there you go.
Because at least this is something that I'm actually saying. Something that me and my mods and my team have found out is that, yes, a common theme on videos like this, from this channel, this channel, this channel, this channel, and this channel. We realized when we looked at the More button, there's the About page. And you'll find that if you go to the About page, on every single one of these channels, even the one with no videos, they all share a similar AI-generated description about their profile and their page. It's all very similar.
Bro, this is some random guy in some random European country, maybe some African country, and he is just farming. He is farming, bro. Like, yes, it's a guy. In Yugoslavia? I didn't know they got rid of that one. They got patched out. Is Kazakhstan still a thing? They still have Kazakhstan, or did that one get patched out too? We saw, okay, alright, so yeah, it's a guy from Kazakhstan. Exactly, yeah, there we go.
And that made us realize, oh, this is likely all ran by the same exact person.
Yeah, of course.
And the same exact person is using AI-generated stuff to create this content. I mean, look at the profile picture and the banner. This is AI-generated. And then you look, and then you see it's the same exact way that they're doing everything, because they're probably aware of the fact that these new accounts that they're making are likely going to get demonetized or taken off. So they just make a new one.
Yeah, of
they're
course.
making a bunch. Capitalize off of this as much as they can.
That's right. That's
and I know that
do.
it's bad enough that they're going after me, but they're also going after my friends like Lucy, like Lily, with completely misleading
Lucy probably wants that, to be fair.
titles and completely misleading videos that have nothing to do with what's actually being talked about. Content aside, these kind of titles shouldn't even be on YouTube in the first place. How are these allowed? And then you go over and then you look, and you sit here wondering to yourself, how is this kind of stuff allowed? Surely YouTube is going to be taking down this kind of content, right?
Yeah.
Then you go over and look at one of my friends' accounts and notice that their ASMR account has been taken down. They deny her appeal when all she's doing is ASMR. Just look at
the reason why is because it gets reported more often. Like, the truth is that the reason why these videos are up is because these channels are fucking irrelevant. Like 3,000 views. I was about to say up, dudes. 3,000 views. This is like nothing. So the reason why that girl's channel got deleted is because a lot of people reported it. So if a lot of people report something, it'll get removed, and that's why this person has a bunch of channels lined up, because they know what's going to happen. ASMR is lewd 90% of the time. Oh yeah, no, but I don't think 90%. I think it's more like 99%.
Down at the comments, you're going to see how upset people are by the clickbait titles. They're going to complain and dislike it, but then you're also going to see a few people assume that I'm the one posting them, or that it's an actual fan posting them. It's not only giving off the impression that I'm misleading viewers, But this content in general is just overtly sexual and just untrue. One could argue that because I make offhand dirty comments on my stream, it would make sense for these videos to come up, which I know is a common theme with some of my videos regarding the games I play or the jokes that I make about my favorite anime characters and my lackluster love life. But I digress. There's a difference between that and misleading viewers in such a harmful way with content that would lead viewers to believing something that isn't real.
I think that doing this is a form of creep shotting, basically, and this is a big... so there's a lot of people that have a problem understanding consent. I feel like about once a month we find out that there's a new streamer that doesn't understand what consent is. And so the big issue with women being sexualized and sexualizing themselves, the big problem is that a lot of people don't understand the nuance that women want to be the one that controls when they are sexualized and when they're not sexualized. I don't think that women have a problem being sexy, but they do have a problem with people trying to make them look sexy when they're just trying to relax. And so they want to have control over that and not be, sexualized without their consent, or I think in this case, against their consent, or be sexualized in a way that's, I would say not like really misleading, but it's exploitative. And I don't know why this is such a big problem that a lot of people don't understand. But man, a lot of people really don't get this, do they? I don't get it. Because to me, like, growing up, like, I'm not going to get up on a soapbox about this, but, like, growing up, I was taught never to touch somebody without their consent like that. Never do that. Like, never be aggressive like that. Like, always at, like... Of course. Like, I don't know why people do this, and that's a huge issue.
Even if people feel a certain way about me,
and
these videos become more popular, these accounts realize that they can profit off of these kinds of videos and just do the same exact thing, but with other streamers and other YouTubers and other VTubers. And this stuff is just gonna get worse and worse. And
it's all over TikTok too.
Unfortunately, we put on the algorithm and deter viewers from looking at actual content of me or other streamers and build up this perception that this is how we are, when that's never really the case at all. It's also really interesting to know how these titles even slide in the first place. People can argue this and that or whatever.
The reason why they slide is because they use these different asterisks in order to avoid the YouTube auto mod. And that's why they have so many channels, and they know what to censor, and they know how they can slide under the radar. It's because of trial and error. Do you think you're the first person that this has happened to? No, this creep has probably done this to 10 other girls before her.
But on my streams on Twitch, they're set to 18 and up because I'm aware of how bad my potty mouth is or how dirty my jokes can be. I'm so fortunate with my community that most of them can look at these videos and know that this isn't true because they actually watch my videos. But then there are going to be these people that want to get to know me or want to get to know some other streamer that's getting put on the spotlight.
Here's what the problem is, and this is what happens with a lot of girl streamers, and it's also kind of an unintended secondary, like a second order outcome of or third order, I guess, if you think about it, outcome of OnlyFans is that because a lot of girls on Twitch have OnlyFans, it creates a community of people that ask girls to make OnlyFans. And really, you might think that this is an innocent thing to say, but what you're effectively asking somebody to do is to sell porn of themselves. And if you had asked somebody to do this at like a work environment or something, this would make them very uncomfortable. And if you asked somebody to do this in real life, it would probably also make them uncomfortable. So what's happened is that you've had an increasingly more sexualized group of content, and I think that it creates an expectation that people will create content like that. So when you have there's a lot of girl streamers that have this problem, that they create content that maybe sometimes every once in a while it's a little cutesy, maybe a little baity, a little showy, but for the most part they just basically do their stream and that's it. But when you have clippers that are creating a community of gooners around them, when that's not really what they're looking for, what ends up happening is those people come into that girl's stream expecting her to talk about hard sex, expecting her to talk about wanting to fuck. and then they start talking to her that way, and it probably makes her very uncomfortable. So that's you can see how this is a domino effect. Like I want you guys to kind of see how all these things fit together, because it's not something that happens immediately. It's like it happens and this happens and something else happens, right? Why are we giving attention to a Coomer baiting VTuber or complaining about Coomer baiting VTubers? That's not what's happening. If you think that's the conversation, then look, that's not my fault.
And get the wrong impression of them. And it kind of sucks. It really sucks. I have an audience that's well aware of me and my personality, so that it won't affect me as severely as it could affect other channels that likely depend on clips to be known out there. They don't have as much reach. And it sucks. It sucks that that's a thing. And it sucks that these channels are coming up. And I really just wanted to make this video to just showcase how silly these videos are and these channels are. These stupid AI-generated channels made by these people who can lie about being a fan to hide their true intent of wanting to profit and monetize off of these poor viewers who have no idea about their streamer that they're watching. And like I said,
the average
really
audience of the people that are watching that is probably 14. I would hope.
Know that I have my own content. I have a bunch of channels that even if they don't get as many views or this or that, I know that it's reaching my audience and they're getting to know me and know that I'm silly. I make dirty jokes sometimes. I'm goofy. I'm a girl failure, but I'm also somebody who does other things. And I know it's the case with so many other people that are streaming. And people could say like, oh, you deserve this, you deserve that. But you would hate if people would make up all of this fake shit about you too. It's not a matter of this or...
It's very simple. She obviously sexualizes herself on her stream, but it makes her uncomfortable when people sexualize her against her consent on different YouTube channels, especially when they're doing it on a false premise that didn't even happen. It's actually such an easy thing to understand. And if people can't understand that, I don't know what to say.
It's a matter of what's real and what isn't. If you're gonna do a clickbaity gooner title, shouldn't it actually be a real fucking gooner thing? Jesus Christ!
No, because it lets
if you're gonna do something like that, do it like my Azure Lane video with a big feed in the background. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I just hope that making a video like this will help bring to light how fucked up these channels can be. And if you do see these channels, to try your best to report them and get rid of them. I'm hoping that by making a video like this, we can all kind of band together every kind of community of somebody that's been affected by this, that we can all come together and we can mass report these accounts. You can bring up a menu and you can report the image or the title.
Yeah, sure.
You can report it for sexual content or spam or misleading content. And then hopefully, if enough of us band together with this, we can try our best to take down these accounts and hopefully help.
I don't know why you guys are saying, no, I don't want to do this, doubt, like, stupid and everything. Like, isn't it a bad thing that people are just making slop channels that are spamming posts that are fake about people? Like, I mean, isn't this bad, like, on a fundamental level? I feel like this is such a there's such a circumstantial pushback for this, and I don't really see why it's happening. It's a tiny issue? I don't think so. I actually think that it's a very common issue, and I think it'll become worse every single year. Because right now it's easier to do it with VTubers, but I think it also happens with other female streamers, and I think it will happen with more types of fan bases and more types of media as well, as generative AI gets better.
Make the VTubing clipping sphere just a little bit more bearable. And I'm really sorry that I had to make something like this, but I think complaining about it on streams isn't going to do any good, because those aren't good things that are going to get clipped anyway. And I guess the best way to go about it is to just talk to you like this and say, hey, that stuff is not me. Those videos are very misleading, and they're preying on you and your view to benefit them. And if you guys want actual good clippers or actual good content,
and so chat, why are you confused? Well, I know this must be very upsetting for some people. But I'm really actually not that big of an insta, and you can talk to any girl that I've interacted with for my entire history of streaming, And you're not going to find a single one that said I've done anything other than just be a gentleman. I'm not manipulative. I'm not rude. I'm not obnoxious to people or anything like that. I don't treat people that way. I'm sure that, you know, there's been friction with like maybe an ex-girlfriend or something like that, arguments, sure, but otherwise, absolutely not. I don't operate that way. And I don't, to be honest, on a personal level, like at least a lot of my close friends, man, I don't know about every single one. Like a lot of them, like I don't know anybody that acts like that.
Incredible viewers of my community and my friends' communities who post just really good clips of me and my friends or a bunch of other streamers that you know and love. They're out there, they're good, they're great, they are not AI, and they're doing so with the intent of helping the flipping ecosystem, helping you guys find the streamer that you like or the Oshi that you like without making you go, what? There's no way this is real, but most of the time it is. Thank you guys. Thanks for listening if you made it to the end of this, and let's do our best to make a beautiful community this 2021. Love you guys. Bye.
I think that there are going to be a lot of people who have like a negative perception of this video because they might not like the fact that this girl, you know, kind of, I mean, like her character is designed to be sexually appealing to men. That's definitely true. But I think that you run into a double problem when you have people that take it too far and clip things and then turn it into being even more weird. So two other people that have been victims of this recently have been Senna and also Valkyrie. What's been happening with them is that people have taken comments or things that they've said on podcasts with Valkyrie's example, and they've taken it out of context and then turned it into being like a extremely crazy sexual context, and then reposted it with logos of like Stake or like Roobet or one of these other like gambling websites. And they're basically, so what they're doing is they're like sexualizing this person in a way that they didn't necessarily intend, and also profiting off of it, farming it. Like I think that's really, it's kind of cringe, right? It's kind of cringe. I've seen it with Kai. Yeah, exactly. People are doing it with everyone. And no way she said that. Like, yeah, she keeps one in her drawer after stream. Like, I can think of a million fucking titles for this. And sexualizing yourself versus someone else sexualizing you, it's pretty simple. You know what? I thought so until I went online, and apparently fucking not. So I want to say that obviously Numi has to understand that people are, like, if you have a character like this, there are a lot of people that are watching your thing, and they're looking for a GFE. That's a girlfriend experience for anybody who actually has, you know, who's had a girlfriend before in real life. If you haven't, you already know what a GFE is, like I do. And so anyway, that happens, and yeah, big fucking surprise, this is how things go, right? This is exactly it. VTuber aren't incoming? Well, I don't know about that, right? Am I crazy for thinking it's less egregious as an animated character? So here's where the problem is, and here's where it comes from. And it's the same issue that Senna and Valkyrie, and like there's a bunch of other people that obviously have had this happen too. The issue that they have is that when you have a ecosystem of people that are creating content that sexualize you against your consent and in ways that are unintentional, it's basically like taking upskirt photos. When you build a community like that, or like, you know, people that take photos